Welcome back to my YouTube channel, Rare American Coins, where we explore the fascinating stories behind some of the most iconic coins in United States history. And today, we are diving deep into the history, the design, the production, and the collector's significance of the 1977 Washington quarter coin that might seem ordinary at first glance, but has layers of historical value, cultural symbolism, and numismatic intrigue that make it a treasure worth discussing for hours. To understand the 1977 Washington quarter, we must first travel back to the roots of the Washington quarter itself, which was first minted in the year 1932. To commemorate the 200th anniversary of the birth of George Washington, the first president of the United States, the idea of placing George Washington on a circulating coin had been in consideration for decades, but it was the bicentennial of his birth that finally catalyzed the effort to honor him in a lasting and widespread way. Before the Washington quarter, the coin that dominated the 25-cent denomination was the Standing Liberty quarter, which had been in circulation since 1916. And was known for its classical design and bold representation of liberty. However, by the late 1920s and early 1930s, the United States Mint began to consider replacing it with a new design that would pay tribute to the nation's founding father and provide a more contemporary image to reflect the spirit of the era. In 1931, Congress authorized the creation of a new quarter to honor George Washington, and the original intent was for it to be a one-year commemorative issue. But the design became so popular and well received by the public that it ended up becoming a permanent fixture of American coinage. The Treasury Department originally selected Laura Garden Fraser, a respected sculptor and the wife of James Earl Fraser, who designed the famous Buffalo nickel, to design the new Washington coin, but her design was ultimately set aside in favor of one submitted by John Flanagan, a New York sculptor whose vision became the one we know today. John Flanagan's design features a left-facing bust of George Washington based on the famed bust created by French sculptor Jean-Antoine Houdon in 1785, a likeness considered to be the most accurate representation of Washington during his lifetime. On the reverse side of the coin, Flanagan designed a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched on a bundle of arrows with olive branches beneath, symbolizing both military readiness and the desire for peace. The words United States of America and E Pluribus Unum march over the eagle, and the denomination quarter dollar rests beneath it. Fast forward to the 1970s, a decade of social, political, and economic transformation in the United States, during which the Washington quarter remained a mainstay of American pocket change and commerce. The 1977 Washington quarter was minted at a time when the nation was still adjusting to the removal of silver from most circulating coinage, which had taken place in 1965. Prior to that year, quarters were composed of 90% silver, but rising silver prices and hoarding by the public forced the government to switch to a clad composition of copper and nickel in order to keep coins in circulation. The 1977 quarter continued the use of the clad composition introduced in 1965, which consisted of a pure copper core sandwiched between two outer layers of copper-nickel alloy, giving the coin its familiar silvery appearance without the use of actual silver. This change made coins more economical to produce, but also impacted their long-term intrinsic value, which is why most clad quarters are worth only their face value, unless they are in particularly pristine condition or have notable mint errors. In terms of mintage, the 1977 Washington quarter was produced at 3 different mints across the country: the Philadelphia Mint, which did not use a mint mark on its coins; the Denver Mint, which marked its coins with a small d; and the San Francisco Mint, which struck proof versions of the quarter with the S mint mark. The Philadelphia Mint produced over 256 million quarters that year, while the Denver Mint contributed more than 255 million coins. The San Francisco Mint struck over 3 million proof quarters for collector sets. Although the 1977 quarter is not considered a rare coin by normal standards, its collector appeal grows when examining coins in mint state, grades, or those with unique varieties or errors. Some examples include off-center strikes, clipped plankets, doubled dies, or coins with unusual toning, or high-grade surfaces that have not been circulated. Such specimens can fetch much higher prices on the market, especially among numismatists and professional collectors. One of the interesting aspects of collecting Washington quarters from this era is the search for high-grade examples certified by professional grading services such as PCGS or NGC. Coins graded at MS66 or higher are significantly rarer and command a premium among collectors, in particular coins with full original luster, strong strike, and minimal contact. Marks are the most desirable and often bring hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction depending on their condition and appeal. From a historical perspective, the 1977 quarter represents a continuation of the classic Washington design, which would remain virtually unchanged until the introduction of the state quarters program in 1999. This means that the 1977 quarter was part of the final 2 decades of what collectors call the pre-statehood era, making it a key piece in completing any comprehensive Washington quarter collection. The broader context of 1977 as a year also provides interesting historical background for understanding the culture surrounding the coin. During this time, the United States was experiencing the aftermath of the Watergate scandal, the ongoing Cold War tensions, and the rise of new cultural movements in music, film, and technology. The economy faced inflation and energy crises, while the American public navigated a changing national identity. Coins like the 1977 quarter quietly passed through the hands of millions of Americans as part of everyday life while carrying the image of one of the most revered leaders in the country's history. Today, numismatists look at coins such as the 1977 Washington quarter as both historical artifacts and artistic creations. With each scratch, dent, or blemish lies a story of circulation, a moment of trade, a transaction that connects us to the past and to each other. The coin stands as a tribute not just to George Washington, but to the American people who used it to buy goods, give change, and carry on their daily lives through generations. In conclusion, the 1977 Washington quarter may seem like just another piece of change, but it is in fact a symbol of national legacy, historical transition, artistic expression, and numismatic curiosity. Whether you are a seasoned collector, a beginner interested in coin hunting, or simply someone who appreciates the stories behind the objects we use every day, this coin offers a rich and rewarding subject to explore, and that is why we dedicated this long, detailed video to telling its story. Thank you for joining me on this journey into American coin history. Stay tuned for more deep dives into the fascinating world of rare and historical coins right here on Rare American Coins. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss an episode. We'll be back soon with another rare piece of the past. Until then, happy collecting and keep searching for history in your pocket.